real estate agents. Welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga. Everybody knows him as the man with the plan. I don't know if he has a plan today, though.
I'm in the house with the plan, actually in the castle.
In the
you like that?
I get it. Oh, gosh.
It just came to me.
Joey. All right.
Well,
so what he's referencing is we have a guest with us today,
yes,
Steve Castle.
Steve Castle.
With My Home Group. How's it going, Steve?
It's going great, thanks.
Good. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me.
You even brought Jackie with you.
I did.
Yes,
Yeah.
Jackie
Whitney. What's up? How you doing over there? Security title? Good? All right. I don't know if people can hear you or not, but she says, good. All right. So, Steve, why don't we start with how long you've been in the business and what got you into real estate?
I have been in the business, I guess I've had my license for about 20 years now. And it's kind of been two parts. First 15 years, and then I left and went and worked in nonprofit for a few years, shut the business completely down, and then
Really?
been back in the business for about 4 years since then.
So you left the business.
Left it and like a big dummy, basically told everyone, I'm leaving, don't call me, call someone else. I'm going to go live my passion.
Well, there was a tough time back then. I mean, let's see. So that would have been in, 2012, 13?
Yep. And actually, crazy part is we had made it through all the kind of really bad stuff. I just,
want to do something else.
Want to do something else.
Passion.
And follow kind of my passion. We've always been really involved with nonprofits. And so that kind of led me that direction. And after a few years of doing that, I thought, man, I'm going to go back and make money again, and that way I'd rather, write checks and help from the other side.
That
so
works.
Yeah, the more money you make, the more help you can offer.
Exactly.
What was the nonprofit?
I worked at Phoenix Children's Hospital for about almost 3 years.
Very
doing
nice.
fundraising there. Yep.
Great. Back at it.
Yes.
And rocking it, knocking it out of the park, right?
Doing my best.
Yeah. Oh, come on now.
Yeah. Very humble, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you doing right now to be successful? What's kind of your main niche or your activities that you do?
Well, I think kind of there's kind of two parts to it. But when I got back in the business, of course, I left the whole time the market was really going from the bottom back to normality.
Sure.
And so when I got back in the business, I started calling all my past clients, and a lot of them had sold their houses with other people like I told them to do, because they were back up in value. And so I thought, well, I don't know what to do really anymore. And so I just got some phone lists and an auto dialer and started calling expireds and canceled listings. And just started building back up that way.
Yeah.
And now, we've been blessed. And so we're combining that with taking great care of our past clients and Sphere, letting all those other people, our old clients know I'm back. And that's been really what I've been doing.
So give us a day in the life then, when you got back into it, using the dialer. So
Yep.
How many hours did you stay on that thing? How many people?
Did you like it?
Oh, there's the question.
At the very beginning.
You have to embrace the boredom, I guess, right? I think at the beginning, the hardest part is it takes about 90 days typically to see results from it. Mm-hmm. And so the hardest part is doing it and just having the blind faith that at some point the results are going to come from it. But once you start to see the results, it gets a little easier to do it. Of course, obviously. So, when I got back in, it was wake up in the morning, try to read something positive for a little bit, hit the gym, be in the office, and be on the phones from usually 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning till noon. And then hopefully in the afternoons, I've booked appointments in the morning. And so we're out doing that or showing houses.
Got it.
So about 3 hours most days.
Okay. And mostly expireds then?
Yeah.
Canceled or a little bit of mixture?
Yeah, so expireds, canceleds, and then we'll circle prospect, and then, which I still would circle prospect, and also if we have buyers, since inventory is tight right now, we'll call into the neighborhoods where they're looking to purchase homes, and, we can legitimately say, hey, I've got a buyer.
Yeah.
There's no inventory.
Yeah.
Have you guys thought about selling? And we sell lots of homes because it makes it easier for the seller. They don't have to worry about putting the house on the market and the timing and all that. We can help facilitate all of that and make it a win-win for everybody. So that's worked out really well for us too.
Wow. So you're calling saying that you have buyers?
If I have them, I will not lie. So if I don't, no. So I mean, it has to be a legit
Looking
thing,
in that area.
especially if you think under 300,000 or 400,000 in a lot of areas, there's just no inventory at all.
Yeah, totally.
And so to be able to take a seller that's thinking they're 6 months out and say, hey, we don't care, we'll let you close in 6 months. My guys don't need it. And, then they're not having competition in terms of bidding wars or anything like that. The seller doesn't have to worry about getting the house ready
Right.
and having a million realtors come through and all of that stuff. So it just can be a great win-win for everybody.
No, I like that idea. I wasn't thinking of it that way. I was just thinking of it as you're calling trying to get listings.
No, I mean, I if I'm calling to get listings because we just sold something in the neighborhood, I will say, hey, we just sold your neighbor's house in 2 days. We had 5 offers. That means 4 people didn't get it. Have you guys thought about selling? And then we can reach back out to the 4 that didn't get it, and we'll call their agents and say, hey, I know of something that's off market. Are you guys still looking in the area? And we can do it that way and facilitate it.
See, I find those calls easier.
Way
just
easier.
Just listeds and the just solds. Hey, we just listed your neighbor's house.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is less friction compared to an expired who's getting, clobbered by a million phone calls. But, the thing I learned early on is the expireds already had their hand up. There was a reason the house went on the market.
Sure.
So if you can create a solution for them, that's obviously, it's a harder call, but it's more likely to result in success than just randomly calling a neighborhood.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, where do you find most of your success in certain types of calls?
Yeah,
Is it
so
expireds
and canceleds, are going to be our highest per call to appointment ratios are going to come from that. So,
have you dialed it down to, you kind of have an idea, like this many calls will usually be this many yeses?
Yeah, so it right now it takes me, depending on what I'm calling, because I'm going to say a blended average of just around 100 contacts, so someone I've talked to, to take a listing. So that's about what it is.
Okay.
To get an appointment or to
take the actual listing.
Wow.
Yeah, so we can get, so we should be able to get an appointment about every 50 or 60. And then, again, depending on, like the new expired, sometimes they're interviewing 5, 6, 7 people. So my closing ratio is going to be lower on that compared to a listing appointment from a Sphere where I'm the only interview. So it distorts it a little bit, but about every 50 or 60 calls, I'm going to get an appointment, and about every 100 or so, I'm going to get a listing.
All right. Wow. And so you've been doing that now since?
Yeah, so 4 years.
Last 4 years?
Yeah. Now I'm about more like around 2 hours a day on the phone because we're busier and I have more Sphere, and so we're trying to do more belly to belly, more face to face stuff with with our Sphere and our past clients and that kind of stuff versus just.
And you're doing a lot of this up in Scottsdale?
We're kind of everywhere, to be honest with you. Yeah, my office is in Scottsdale, but we do a lot of Southeast Valley. We do some West Valley, Central Phoenix. So yeah, we've kind of selling all over the place.
So do you do anything? So if you get somebody that's interested, do you send anything also, or just set an appointment just to get in front of them?
So we have like a kind of like a pre-listing book that we'll send out. Okay. That just it kind of talks about us, the team, the what to do to get your house ready for sale. It talks about the process. I never really have believed that this business is about me or my face being on a bunch of stuff or me saying how great I am. It's always about the client. So it's just about trying to meet them where they are, understand what they need, and see how we can find a solution for it. And so that's kind of more of my approach versus me talking at them or showing them a bunch of stuff with like statistics of what percent I'm or something like that.
Right. Okay. I was thinking, because Joey and I were talking about this the other day, is if you take your listing presentation, kind of that pre-packet that you would send out, right? If you could somehow make that nice and shiny in a landing page format, right? To where it's all kind of outlined. These are the videos, these are the images, these are all the things that we do, so that you can send them something right away
to pre-sell them.
Kind of so they're sold on you before you even get there. I don't know how many agents really go that far.
We're working on it, to be honest with you. And we're looking at incorporating that in with BombBomb. I just can't get it to look exactly how I want, and so that's been my struggle because how it shows up is me saying, "Hey, click below," and it's just a little wonky for me, and so I haven't started sending it all the time. But I agree 100%. I mean, that's a no-brainer if you can get it right. But I just want to make sure it looks consistent with everything in my brand, and I'm not sending them something I'm not proud of.
BombBomb's a good one. I think, for sure.
For sure.
So if you just want to send something out, well, I guess you can.
I will say though, by far the most success we have is having a great conversation with them, understanding timing, and 70+% of our listing appointments come from lead follow-up. So doing very diligent lead follow-up is going to yield way better results than anything you can sell and send, anything you can mail, any drip campaign you can put them on. Is just calling and just checking in and doing that lead, that really consistent lead follow-up. That's the best thing for us by far. And what we've noticed is people, are looking to sell their house, and they think, okay, I'm 3 months away or I'm 6 months away, and then life gets in the way of that stuff. And 3 or 6 months really sometimes ends up being a year. Like we just closed something a couple months ago that the people told me they were 3 or 4 months away from putting it on the market. It took 2 full years of lead follow-up for them to do it, but it was $1.5 million worth of transactions between the sell and the buy.
Yeah.
And by the end, really, they were friends of mine, even though we had never met face-to-face. I'd call, I'd check in. No, we're still not ready. We're thinking about doing the roof, whatever it was. And then, okay, well, when should I call you back? 3 months. Okay. And then finally, one day he called and he's like, yeah, we're ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the great part was I didn't have to I had no competition.
Sure.
Oh yeah, at that
'cause you're
point,
the only one calling.
because nobody else is still following up at that point.
I mean, I'm the last guy left, and so they're not going to go digging around trying to find someone else to call. They just say, well, you've stuck with it. Here, you can have a listing.
Yeah.
So that's been by far our best success.
So share with us what the follow-up, is it mostly phone calls? You doing some emails? You're doing texts?
It's almost all phone calls. So I'll follow up with them if they don't answer. Usually once or twice I'll hang up and just set that follow-up for like the next day, because I really want to try to have a phone conversation with them, even if they're just not ready. And then if I've tried a couple times and they're still not answering, then I'll send them a text or a phone call or leave a message and say, hey, I've tried you for a couple days. I wasn't able to get you, but I just wanted to let you know I'm thinking about you guys. If you need anything at all, give me a shout.
Yeah.
And then I'll set that follow-up, again, depending on what their original timeline was, maybe somewhere between a week and 2 weeks out to try it again.
Oh,
so
if you don't get in touch.
If I don't get in touch with them, so even if I leave a message or send an email, I'm still putting that follow up out, like no more than 2 weeks, and trying again.
How about after you did speak with them? Do you usually ask them, or do you say, okay, I'm going to put it back into the system to call you back in a month?
Yeah, so if they're not ready, then I'll tell them, okay, well, what are you guys thinking? You're 3 months out now? Yeah, okay. Well, I know it's hard to kind of really gauge it, so what if I give you a call in about 45 days? And then they'll go, yeah, no, that sounds good. And then I'm always trying to cut it in half.
Sure.
Because I just learned a long time ago that they say 3 months, and then you look at, on the third month you go to do it, and it's been active for 20 days. And then that's the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the last Inman event that Joey and I were at, they were talking about, they actually dialed in, I guess they did a study about listings. Like by the time a husband and wife or whoever owns the house thinks about selling or listing their home, that it's like a 14-month on average time frame before they actually list. Yeah. So that would tell everybody out there that you better have a follow-up system that at least goes 14 to 16 months out.
100%.
But you said that one was like 2 years, huh?
It was 2 years, yeah. And that was way past anything that I have kind of, as a formalized follow-up plan, but it just was continuing to follow up, give them a call, check in with them, see what they need. We put them into our database, so we don't kill our database with snail mail, but about 4 or 5 times a year they get snail mail from us, so they were getting that from us even though they weren't clients yet. So we pull them in, the best we can.
All right.
You're using Mojo Dialer?
Yep.
Okay.
And you also mentioned your sphere.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now to stay in contact with them.
So we do mailings. We do at least one client event every year.
Wait, I thought it was 2.
It's supposed to be
teasing.
2. No, it's 100% supposed to be 2, but it somehow always creeps into 1. So
maybe it's just one really awesome one.
That's it.
See, that's what it is.
So last year we hired a photographer, and we did it in October, and we let our clients come and get their holiday pictures done for free, and we had a bunch of food out there, and cornhole games and just stuff like that, and people seem to really enjoy that. So we've done happy hours, we've thrown pizza parties, we've just done, we try to do something different, and something that people will want to come to, that they'll feel excited.
Have you tried
to
movie
come
events?
Right.
Do those
I have
work
not.
well,
I have not tried a movie event.
Okay.
I'm petrified of standing in front of them. I'm going to be honest. This is my own self-talk. I'm petrified of standing in front of an empty movie theater because no one came.
Oh yeah.
And so I have not thrown that one yet. So I know I should. I know it works for a lot of agents. That's my own hang-up.
Well, just tell all your family and friends to be ready for a group text in case.
In case, exactly. So
movie on you.
Yeah. So. We always have note cards that are branded that we were sending out, but we just recently, the last few months, got different note cards. So some say happy birthday, some say congratulations, some say, so that it doesn't feel like I'm just sending them like stuff about me again, you know, and so whatever, when it's appropriate, we're doing that. We'll usually send a Starbucks gift card in for everybody's birthday, and they seem to like that. So,
all right.
Yeah.
You know, one idea that I was thinking of the other day, because my wife and I have been to that Alamo movie theater.
Yep.
I don't know. There's one in Chandler.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's more around the valley or whatever, but it would be a great one to invite, like, just the parents, like just a husband and wife.
Yep.
To come to that event.
Yeah.
Because it's smaller,
Yep.
more intimate, but it's, you know, it includes food and all that stuff too. So you eat, it's a dinner and a movie.
For sure.
I think that'd be a cool experience.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're going to put it on.
I definitely will. Yeah. We've done a couple of dinners, like nicer dinners. And actually we're talking about doing that kind of like a adults only dinner this fall as kind of our event.
Yeah.
Because it's been a couple of years since we've done one of those where, and we've always gotten really great response. And when we do it, we give away a bunch, you know, we'll give raffle tickets out to everybody and give away a bunch of prizes and stuff like that, and just try to make it fun. Again, try to make it something that people want to come to. They're not just coming because they they feel obligated or something.
So do you invite other sponsors to join you?
We have done that. Okay. Yeah, in the past we've had sponsors come and support. And again, I'm funny about that. I don't want to ask people for money, you know, if there's not a return on it for them. And so I don't like asking unless we've got a long-standing relationship and there's actual value in it.
Sure. Like security title.
Yeah, exactly. Of course.
You hear that?
Yep.
Okay. City Hall for all his top class.
Exactly.
Oh goodness. All right. Okay. So you mentioned also that you do like to look on social media a little bit.
Yeah, I think social media is really is a great place to find out what's going on in your clients' lives, and it's. You know, like even birthdays, you know, we've got all of our clients' birthdays in our database, but, you know, I don't just wish them happy birthday on Facebook. I shut Facebook and I pick the phone up and I call them and I wish them happy birthday.
Smart man.
And, you know, it's funny because they always go, how'd you know it was my birthday? And I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's like, you know, we've all gotten so used to just typing happy birthday on Facebook that, you know, you forget you know, hey, it's still a people business, and you know, it's important to make sure you're making those personal touches.
Right. So we do get agents ask us quite often, should we be friends with our past clients on Facebook?
Yeah, we are with a lot of ours, and now I you know, again, maybe it's my own personal hang up. If I go on a listing appointment and they're interviewing 3 people and they haven't picked me yet, I don't friend them on Facebook like pre-selection or something like that. Yeah. But once they're our clients and we're in business together, then we'll definitely do it. And a lot of times they friend us, to be honest. It's, you know, it's where people connect and stay connected. And like I said, it's really great because it's an easy way to keep the relationship going past closing, because you can say, hey, I saw you were, you know, on this vacation and this looked cool or that looked cool, and you can comment. And again, great opportunity, instead of just posting where everybody is posting in Facebook, to send them a text or pick them up and call and be like, hey, you know, that trip to Italy looked amazing, tell me about it, and have that connection versus just calling and saying, hey, it's been a while and it's a business call, who do you know that wants to buy real estate like that?
Signed a contract.
I'm not very comfortable having too many of those a year, so it's a lot better, and it's a lot more enjoyable to do it the other way.
Well, good. Well, it sounds like you're having a lot of fun with your business.
Yeah, most days, right? I mean, it's real estate, so there's definitely always the days, you know,
Ups
I'm not bald for no reason, right? Like, I mean, you definitely going to pull your hair out sometimes, but overall, you know, we're blessed to be at a place now. I can usually go on a listing appointment and I can feel if it's a good fit or not. And if it's not a good fit, I'll tell people, hey, I'm not sure. I really don't think this is a good fit. I think you might want to look at having a different agent help you with this, because I think you'd be better served. And so we really like our clients, and so it makes it a lot easier.
All right.
So I'm curious, before you jump into the next thing, is before you took that break, right, were you doing the same things that you're doing now?
No.
Yeah, completely different stuff.
So some of the same things, but I think my attitude towards real estate was really different. You know, I stumbled into the business because my wife's family had kind of been in the business, and I have a sociology degree, and when I realized I wanted to marry my wife and figured out what sociology degrees paid, I was kind of like, okay, I don't know what else to do. And my mother-in-law was like, well, you should sell houses, which I'd never sold anything or thought about selling anything. So I kind of stumbled into the business. And I think because of that, I hate to say it, but I kind of resented it. It was like I did it because I had to. It wasn't like I picked it. It was like, well, I picked a major that doesn't pay anything, and now I don't know what else I'm going to do with my life. And so I have to do this because it's the only thing that pays me enough. And then being able to leave and choose to come back, my attitude was so different about it because it let me appreciate all that it could offer, and versus feeling stuck and tied to it, I guess. And so I think that's the biggest difference in kind of how I'm handling it, and I think that's translating into, me enjoying the business a lot more.
Sure, absolutely. No, that's great. All right, so before we transition to the next segment, if you had to offer one bit of advice to an agent whose business is either slowed down or maybe they've just gotten into the business, what would you tell them?
I mean, from my perspective, there's no shortcuts, right? And I think that the good and bad of social media and technology is that a lot of agents are going to take classes and do all these things to figure out how they're going to get business. But at the end of the day, the reality of this is it's a contact business.
Yeah.
You have to talk to people. And yes, posting on Facebook, hey, I'm in real estate now. If you know anyone, like that's not a bad thing. But are you going to build a big, successful, consistent, predictable business from that? No. The only way that's going to happen is if you talk to people every day. And so what I always tell new agents is I don't think it matters how you talk to them. If you want to sit in open house all day, or you want to door knock, or you want to cold call, all of those things will work. But you should have a target each day of, today I need to talk to 10 people or 20 people or 50 people I've never met before and have a real estate conversation with them. And if they do that, then they pretty much, no matter how bad they are at the rest of it, will make money.
Yeah.
Got it.
90 days, though.
Yep, it takes 90 days, and about day 60 is super frustrating because you think, man, I've been doing this thing for 60 days, no one's called, nothing's happening, this is such a waste of time, I'm going to go post on Facebook again. And you just have to stick with it, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, 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 hey, I got 3 in 1 week. It's like, yep, that's just, I call them the dialer gods, but I say they always smile on you. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to do every day, it'll be crickets. But as soon as I'm on the dialer, as soon as I'm consistent, as soon as I'm having past client conversations and doing all the things I'm supposed to do, somehow the dialer gods smile on me. And even though the deals may seem unrelated to that, I'm convinced the universe is just conspiring because I'm doing what I'm supposed to help me succeed. So that's just how I feel about it.
All right. If any agents want to reach out to you directly that are watching or listening, how would they do that?
Call my cell phone, and 602-881-6228. Steve at castlegroupaz.com. Yeah, I'm happy to talk to anybody.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
To get in the ring?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do this. What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Real estate wise, I'd say you can't manage what you don't measure. So got to know your numbers.
Awesome.
I like it.
Great. Favorite mobile app?
Real estate related wise, probably my Follow Up Boss app, or CTE, which we use to track our numbers. Non-related to real estate, Spotify.
All right. Yes. All right. For music or?
Yeah, music. I love music.
What kind of music?
All kinds. Just depends on my mood. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Nice. Barry White.
Yeah, sometimes.
There we go. How about a book recommendation?
So many. I love to read, but right now I just finished The 4 Disciplines of Execution for the second time, and that book is fantastic for anybody that has a team of any size, 2 people or 200 people. It's a great basically operations manual of how to run your meetings.
Who's the author?
Or what's the name again?
Tell me. It's called 4 Disciplines of Execution,
and
I cannot remember who the author is.
All right, write that down because we're not recording right now.
And then I would say for newer agents or people just starting in the business, Compound Effect is a no-brainer. That book goes to every salesperson that I've ever coached or trained, first thing, so they can understand that compound.
Yeah.
Literally the compact effect.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just those small incremental gains. So, yep.
All right, great. Productivity tool or software that you use on a regular basis?
CRM for sure. If we use Follow Up Boss for that, and then Mojo for the dialer is just
do those talk to each other?
They talk to each other. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, and Follow Up Boss is great. I mean, at least for us, it's worked out great. It talks to Zillow. It talks to Mojo. It talks to our website. It talks to and it drops everything. Anytime a lead comes in, it drops into Follow Up Boss with where it came from.
Nice.
And so yeah, it's super helpful.
Okay. Cool. All right. Last question. We'll draw from the mask.
Here we go.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
Careful.
Is this one? All right, there you go.
Go ahead. You can read it.
Oh, I got to read it. Okay.
If you can.
Can I read it?
If you can read my writing.
Who is my favorite superhero and why?
I like this one.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to go with Superman only because I just went skydiving with my oldest daughter a couple weeks ago, and I had to put on a jumpsuit, and I was Superman, so I'll go with that.
Wow.
There we go. Did they? Was it red and blue? And
oh yeah, it just looked like Superman. So it was camouflage or Superman, and I was like, I have to be Superman.
Yeah.
So there's really no option. So yeah, so we'll go with that.
So camouflage in the sky, is it blue and white then?
Yeah, exactly.
Or still
yeah, exactly. Perfect.
Anyway,
I got you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, you're so welcome.
It's been great.
I'm curious, Jackie, who's your favorite superhero?
Oh yeah, let's see.
Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Wonder Woman. That's Joey's too.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
I don't know. I really like Hulk from that last Thor movie.
You can't change.
Well, okay. Captain America, I guess, is probably my number one. But that one was a funny Thor.
Yeah, Hulk is.
Have you seen that one?
No.
The latest Thor movie? Yeah, you got to watch it just because it's so funny.
All right.
I'm serious. There's so
Thor
many little
Ragnarok.
one-liners in it. You'll just be like, what?
All right, we'll have to do it.
It's on Netflix, by the way.
Perfect.
Anyway, well, thanks for coming in. We also want to say thanks to Security Title,
Yes.
and Security Studios, as well as Fidelity Fidelity National Home Warranty,
Yes.
as our sponsor. And until next time, you guys have a great week. See you later.